Hi guys, Crafty Crystal here. I'm starting a series of shorts, and each short will be one step in how to make a hat. And this is making a hat using wool quilt batting instead of the big chunky pieces. First part is just covering this. That's it. This is what we're doing on the first part. Inside and out, how to finish it, how to get it ready for the next step. So let's get started. Okay, starting out with a hat. You need to put batting down. Now I use wool quilt batting, which is this stuff. It's thin. It's finished on one side and fuzzy on the other. And I find it a lot easier than the bulk. And this is what I learned on, so this is what I'm using. Now, this probably isn't the same type of form you'll be using, because I took one that my girlfriend gave me, which is a standard 7-inch diameter, and I had a 6-inch diameter that she gave me that I made a smaller hat on, and then I wrapped batting around it and I wrapped felt around it so it would be the same size as the other one, because I like to make my bills on the same piece. Okay, so anyway, to start with, I'm just going to use the top half because you'd be using a single size form. And what I do is I take my batting and I have torn it, not cut it, but torn it into strips that'll go for the sides. Taken a couple wider squares for the crown. I've been making this several of these, so I have some larger pieces that I can use. I have some small pieces I can use for patches and fill-ins. And I have a couple larger strips over here that I can use if I need to. So I'm ready to go. Okay, now, what we're going to end up doing is putting 3 layers on the top and 3 layers on the side. Okay, so I'm going to start with 1 layer on the side. And you can see it has the fuzzy part, and it has a more finished part. It's tighter together. Okay, this is the fuzzy part. So we're going to put the fuzzy part out and the finished part in, because the first layer is going to be on the inside of your hat. Okay. All right. First layer is going to be on the inside of your hat. Now I'm going to take one of the pieces for the top, and again I'm going to look for the finished side and the fuzzy side. Finished side down, because that's going to be on the inside of your hat. Now the reason why you don't ever want to cut this is you're going to end up with harsh lines that you can't connect. You don't want harsh lines, you want easy lines. Okay, now I've got 1 layer of that on here. I'm going to come around with my side, and you can just cut the sides. Not cut them, you can tear the sides off and go on from there. I'm just doing the easy way for me, since I have enough. Okay. I'm going to take this and tear it. Put that with my small patches. Okay. I'm going to take another top. And it doesn't matter whether it's top or bottom, because this is the middle one. So I had a corner coming down this way and over there. Put this right around here. Tear it off. Put that away. Okay, now what you want to do is you want to have it come down below your edge This is the edge you'd be using. Down 2 or below it. Not too far above it. 1 or 2 layers can be, but you want it low enough that you're going to have a good strong edge. Okay. Now here's my last piece of top, and I'm taking the more finished side and I'm putting it up. Okay. Now I just changed my mind up putting the corner right there because I already have several layers together here. So I'm going to offset it a little bit. Now, pretty much, this is our base undercoat for our hat. Now you get out your multi-tool, and you're going to start tacking down a little bit. You don't want to tack deep. Let me show you here. You're going to be tacking like this. It's going to go down through the layers to your hat form, but it's not going to go through your hat form. You don't want to do that. If you go like this, it'll go to your hat form but not through it, and your hat won't stick to your form because you're going to be going around the edges, and if it sticks through, your hat's going to be in the form. You'll play hell getting it off. So to start with, we're going to go straight down in lightly. Do it enough in one spot that you can see it start to dip a little bit. And that means they're kind of settling into each other. And the reason why you do this is because when you start doing it at a slant, it's going to want to shift and move. You don't want to do that. You want it to go straight down in. Now, can you see where it started to dip in a little bit there? See the dip? That's what you want to do all over. So I'm going to go make this dip in on the top, and then I'm going to start on the sides, and I'll be right back. Now I'm going to go around the edges. Get this top and the sides agree to meet, have a meeting of the minds here. You notice I make sure my hand stays well away from those needles. You really do not want to have a meeting with those needles. It does not feel good. Okay, now, for some reason I have got a ruffle situation over here. I don't know how many layers it goes down. I think it's basically the top one. Seems to be. This one's okay. This one just wanted to ruffle down for some reason, so I will. Okay, now I'm going to look at the top of the sides. We don't want any unusual bumps, bulges, problems. Okay, just go around, see if you can find the problem. If there's any problems, you can get rid of them. Okay. I don't don't see any more bulges that are going to give me trouble. Here's the bottom of the form that you would be using. I'm going to come below that. I'm going to tear this extra apart and put it over here with my pieces. Okay. Where are you? There you are. Okay. Put that in my little bag. Now, what I did with the top, I'm going to go around with the side. And I'm going to put all of these in straight into it. So the top part, the top layer, tends to want to cuddle up to the bottom layer. And then we're going to start felting the devil out of this thing. Because one thing I discovered, if you don't do your undercoat really good and really tight, you're going to have trouble when you go to put your colors on. It's the way it is. If you have a nice tight undercoat, your colors are going to be really nice. You'll have no trouble with them. Otherwise, they're going to bulge and bubble and all kinds of trouble. So, and once you have the sides kind of stuck in, then we're going to start using a slant process. If you want to get these really stuck in together, you want them to kind of clutch into each other. And you don't want to go down into the form. So, what you do is you start, give a spot, and you just start going sideways. Like that. You can go all the way across it in a half of it, or you can do a section at a time. What I like to do is do a section, and then when I get that part of the section done, I can go down the sides too. Usually that's later. Right now we want to get the top tacked in. So you're going to go one direction, and one direction only. See how it's beating down? See how it's dipping there? Do a nice section of it. Make sure you get the center good too, or it's going to get missed out on. Okay. Now, once you've done it all in this direction, you're going to turn it, and you're going to do it all in this direction, the same area. Now you clubbed it under this way, you're going to club it under that way. Now this first part of doing this and getting it shaped is going to take you a long time. You can put on a movie, put on music videos, have someone in here to talk to, whatever, but it's going to take you a long time. Once you've got this down so it's pretty much below the other area, you turn it this way and you come in towards the center. And you do that all over that area until it's good and packed down in that direction. And I bet you can guess what the next one is. When you got it good and packed in this one, and thank you. Traffic is being lovely this evening. And you're going to turn it around and you're going to do it from the inside out. Now, here's the fun part. You're going to do this real nice and firm all the way around till you get back and this part is as low as this part. Then you're going to do it again, and you're going to shock yourself to find out you can still pack it down further, and you do it again. Now before you do it another time, you're going to come down and you're going to pick apart, like here's where I started here, and you're going to go down the side. Going to go down lightly towards the bottom. So after your second time around, you start on the sides. Take that whole section there that you did, your first section. Now none of this is going into the hat form at all. I can lift it right off of here with no problem. Now if you should go too deeply and go into the hat form, you can take a butter knife, a spatula, your fingers, whatever you can get under there and force it off the form. But it really is nice when you don't have to do that. Now what's the first thing you do after you go all the way down? Go in another direction. And I'm going to go sideways first. So I'm going to hold it away from me with the top on this side so I don't get lost. I'm going to go back and forth this way all the way across, up and down, back and forth, and up and down and back and forth. Then I will turn it this way with the crown on this side of me and do the same thing. So I'm definitely going in the other direction. After that, I go towards the top. But I don't go towards the top until I've done all the rest of it, or this will start to move up to your top, and you don't want it on your crown. You really don't. So, first, you're going to batten down the hatches on the top. Go to another section, go all the way around section by section until you come back. Do it a second time, all the way around, and then when you come back, then you can start doing sections of your sides. You do that all the way around. You do it all the way around again. Then you're going to come back and do it one last time on the top until it is absolutely to the point where you can't. See here, I can separate it. See, I can separate that. You won't be able to separate it. It'll be solid. And on the sides, when you hold it like this, you will feel it'll feel pretty solid. When you get to that point, we're going to take it off and turn it inside out, and we're going to finalize the inside of the top, not the corners, the inside of the top and the edges, and then we'll put it back out here and work on the corners. Okay, very firmly felted it down, top and sides, 3 goes at it. If you look on top, you can slightly see the shadows of pencil lines I put on top to make sure I didn't forget any place. So now we're going to take this and we're going to take it off the form. There we go. Okay, I'll just take this off. Turn it inside out. Put it back on. Okay, just like that. That easy. See the old fuzzy? No, you can't see. No, it doesn't show up on the camera. I can see where some of the needles came through where I got too enthusiastic. So now I'm going to do the same thing on the inside, except I'm not going to do the corners at all. This part, this much around the edge, I'm not going to do. And the reason is this. If you firmly felt this on the inside and down the side and do the corners, when you turn it back so that the inside is in and the outside is out, these will become big bubbles because you have felted them into this curve. And when you pull this side back out, you're going to have this big bump in here where this curve was. And trust me, from experience, it takes a long time to get rid of those bubbles. So don't do it to it, okay? Okay. So, this is the last of this part of the step. Next step, we're going to come back and we're going to see how far down you want it. Do you want... Oh my goodness. I've got a dirty felting form. It's got all kinds of stuff on it. how far down you want it. Like I said, this is as deep as your felting form, okay? Which means you can have it come down farther on the sides or farther on the back. When we come back, we're going to experiment with different types of bills and rims so that you can get the idea. And then that way you'll be able to make whatever size bill or rim you want. I'll just show you how to attach it. So this is the end of part one, just showing you how to do the basic form, get it going. And you will do on the outside, on the inside of this, what you did on the outside without the corners, okay? Now, when you take it back off after doing that, and you turn it right side out again, and you'll want a felting pad. Use a low felting pad like this, or you can use a piece of foam like from packaging, from electric packaging or something. And you want to take your corner in here that you didn't felt. This is after you turn it right side out. You want to take the corner that you didn't felt and go in there and felt it real good all the way through. This is after you turn it right side out again. And do it until it's as firm as the sides and the crown. Right now it's pretty firm on, no, it's not as firm. I really felted the sides really good. The crown still needs more felting. I've got a pretty good firmness on all my sides. This does not have much firmness at all because except for tacking it good enough that the layers wouldn't separate, it needs finishing, and that's what you're going to do after you get done with the inside. You're going to be finishing it in here. So I would take, just to make sure, I would take like a pencil, or you can use a straight pen, just make some marks. You don't have to worry, this is all going to be very covered with color. And let's see. Okay. So you can take each one of these sections just to do it really good and then move on to the next section and do that all the way around. And then when you get back to the first one, see if you can felt it down anymore and do it again, do that all the way around. Then your hat will be back like this, outside right, and you will put it back on the form, and we will figure out how to do the bills or the flaps or whatever kind of edging you want, okay? So this is the end of part one, and I'll see you in part two.